Now, singer, anti-apartheid activist and humanitarian PJ Powers, whose music was banned by the apartheid government after she performed at a charity concert for orphans in Zimbabwe, received a letter from convicted Nelson Mandela in 1988, encouraging her to continue singing. Since then, PJ Powers, who was fondly known as Thandeka, spent the rest of her music career making socially conscious music. Friend to Nelson Mandela, Powers performed at many of Madiba's celebrations, including his landmark inauguration in 1994, his birthday in 2003, and his tribute concert in 2013, amongst many others. Musician, activist and humanitarian PJ Thandeka Powers joins us to share some special memories of Tata Madiba, and she's on the line with us and to give us some more info on her latest work as well. PJ, thank you so much for joining us on Weekend Dawn. Really appreciate it. I want to ask you something, and this is a personal one. The first time I actually saw you perform and you caught my eye and my attention was when you did The World in Union back in 1995 when I watched the Rugby World Cup final. Can you take me through that performance?
Well, I mean, what an incredible privilege it was to actually get to sing with Ladies with Black Mambazo and to be chosen by Nelson Mandela to perform for my country. It was an amazing feeling. I must be honest, I don't really remember Newlands because it was all such a blur. And just before I went on stage, somebody said to me, "Don't worry about the 100 people in the stadium. Think about the billions that are watching you." And I went, "Oh, goodness." And it went by so quickly, you know, because I was so nervous. But by the time we got to Ellis Park and I realized what a momentous political time, I didn't realize it was more than just a rugby match. You know, Madiba used that time to get rid of our old flag. At the first stadium, the apartheid flag was still flying. And by the time, it was in Newlands, and by the time we got to Ellis Park, there were no old flags. Our beautiful new flag was flying high. It was a very precious and remains today to be one of the most pivotal moments in my career.
All right, now I want to talk about the 18th of July. You were quite close to Tata Madiba. You spent a lot of time with him back in the past. And when you look at the day like the 18th of July now, a day that's now been dubbed Mandela Day, what emotions come out of it? What do you feel when this day is upon you? Considering that now it's COVID-19 and there's a pandemic that we're experiencing, you're not in studio here with us performing live, but it is the 18th of July. What does the day mean for you?
Well, first of all, I think it's a blessing that Madiba didn't have to go through this. That's the first thing I thought of when I woke up this morning, because as an elderly man and as somebody that would have been heartbroken at what was happening, I'm very glad that he has escaped this. Unfortunately, as we know, his daughter, the beloved Zinzi, didn't escape it. But I think that what goes through my mind is how privileged we were as a country to have one of the greatest men that walked the planet, you know, be our father and our president and guide us through a period in our history that by rights, by all intents and purposes, should have broken out into a civil war. And it didn't. And, you know, it's just a remarkable, I feel privileged. I feel all sorts of emotions. I still miss him. I have a picture of him in my study, and I look at it every now and then and I think, oh, wouldn't it be wonderful? But of course, it's pointless thinking like that. But I think that there are probably areas where he would be bitterly disappointed in what's happening in the country. And I think there are areas where he would be really proud. And right now he would be really proud of our doctors and the people on the cold face of this disease, or this virus.
Let's quickly go back to 1988 when you received a letter from Tata Madiba encouraging you to continue singing despite the fact that your music was taken off normal platforms in South Africa like radio and television. What was that emotion like? What did you expect when you saw that from Tata Madiba? How did it make you feel?
Well, it was an amazing thing because I was very despondent, you know. If I did it all again, I would do it the same way. But to be known as persona non grata and to be basically damned in your own country is not a nice feeling. When we did my book, we went back into the archives and we saw these big scratches right through all my material, across the CDs, across everything, because they said do not, and with these big in Koki written, do not play. And of course I was despondent. I was nervous because when an artist isn't heard on the radio, are they forgotten about? So all of those personal things went through. And when I received the letter from Madiba, where I remember he opened it and he said, you are one of those young people in which the country has so much hope. And that was his opening line. And I must be honest, when I read that, I thought, well, I have no option. If you're talking about somebody that's been incarcerated for, at that point, 23 years, who am I to want to throw the towel in because a couple of thugs decided that I was persona non grata? So that gave me, it gave me he pointed me in the right direction, and he gave me the courage to be active and to fight for social justice in this country and keep producing music.
All right, PJ, my closing question just about the work that you're doing now. It seems that you've moved away a little from music and you've gone into motivational talking and motivational speaking. How has that been now?
No, you're wrong. Your information is wrong. I'm in the studio making new music as we speak. So I'm doing that. I brought into my platform inspirational speaking. I'm doing a race relations course tomorrow. I want to get more involved in fixing the new South Africa, which I think we're going to come out and we're going to need to social cohesion. I'm one of the social cohesion advocates, but music is definitely not something that I've left behind. That's my first love, and the good news is they started their 90-minute feature documentary, was started on a Thursday, which was my birthday. I always used to say to Nelson Mandela at all the functions, I used to say, are you aware of the fact that I'm always rehearsing for your birthday on my birthday? So Thursday was my birthday, so I keep good company. And he always used to say, yes, but I really appreciate it. And yeah, so no, the music isn't off the table, but I'm just adding, there's going to be a new range of clothing, a new pajama wear and leisure wear called PJs, which will come out in next year, because I think a lot of people are going to be spending a lot of time in leisure wear in the future. So lots is happening, but I am, as we speak, in the studio.
All right, PJ, a happy belated birthday. Looking forward to hearing from you when you release new music, and all the best with the inspirational talks as well. That was PJ Thandeka Powers, musician, activist and humanitarian, and a very good friend of Nelson Mandela, whom she shares some amazing memories with.